I'm already laughing because I know what's coming up next. Oh god. Koroto's anime 3x3, excluding Avatar: The Last Airbender and Legend of Korra because the internet will be mad. So we do not include those because people will be mad. Okay. So we're just gonna say that they are there. They take up the entire thing. But for the sake of this thought exercise, we do not talk about Avatar, okay? Because otherwise it'd be the whole thing. Let me talk about this. Let me, tease it a little bit before we get into it. So, in many ways, this tier list is very straightforward. Like, you probably know a lot of these already, and a lot of these are very well-known shows, but I made it to sort of convey my taste in sort of the story vibe, and what I'm really into. And I made it that way because you might notice a very funny trend. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. So I guess without further ado, let us unveil the first one. The top left square. Do you know who that is? Do you know who that is? Do you know who that is? Yes, it is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Let me make the eraser bigger. It is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure because of course it is. Of course it is. Everybody expected this. I love JoJo. Everyone should love JoJo. JoJo is one of my favorite stories ever told. I was talking to a friend who had watched JoJo, and I asked him, should I watch JoJo? He knows me very well. He told me, no, you're not going to enjoy JoJo. It's too stupid for you, is what he said. He said, you like serious stuff too much. JoJo is not serious in the least. It sort of tries to take itself seriously a lot of the time, and it's very goofy. It is not for you. And I said, wait. And then I started watching it. And man, did I love JoJo. Did I love JoJo. JoJo is excellent. I want to make a new ranking of all the parts because now I've read the manga. I'm keeping up with the new part, which by the way, the new part is so badass. I'm really, really liking the new part as well. It's like super early on though, like it's barely started. But it's very good. I can't wait to see part 7 adapted. I'm still sad about part 6 being handled by Netflix because I think they really sort of squandered the potential there. I love everything about JoJo. JoJo is excellent. It has some of the best protagonists of all time. Steel Ball Run will break the internet when animated. It will. It'll be glorious. Because I think Steel Ball Run did really, really well with Western audiences. So I think when it comes out in anime form, it might like really, really pop off with the general anime populace as well. It should be a ton of fun. It should be a ton of fun. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a long time until we see it happen, though. Because, with the ending of Part 6, I feel like they want to wait a bit before we get into the new stuff. But man, do I love it. It's so good. It's so good. There's really not much else to say about JoJo. If you haven't seen JoJo, do keep in mind that Part 1 is kind of mid. But when you get through Part 1, you have greatness in front of you. And then when you get through Part 2, you have excellence in front of you. And when you get through Part 3, oh man, everything changes. Read or watch first. I would say just watch it. The anime is excellent. Like, Araki's artwork is really cool, but I think the anime, like, straight up nails it. I love the anime. Zero complaints about the anime. Like, yeah, Part 3 arguably is a bit too long in the anime, but I loved it. Part 3 is still one of my favorite parts, even though people say it's a bit too long. Let's move on. Let's do... I don't remember these, by the way. It's about as spicy for you as it is for me. I put this together, but I seriously just don't remember what it is. Let's do this square. Let's see what's behind this one. What is this? Big surprise. It's the series that I've been talking about for the past, like, 20 hours about. It's Attack on Titan. The most vanilla take of all time, but damn do I love Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan is glorious. Everybody loves Attack on Titan for a reason. If anybody tells me that Attack on Titan is overrated, I will tell you you are wrong. I'm sorry. Attack on Titan, there is so much to love about it. The amount of foreshadowing there in there, the amount of things you can piece together year over year. The fact that we had to wait 4 years for season 2 and nobody dropped off. Everybody was like, you know what? Fine. You're gonna take 4 years? I'll be here. See you in 4 years. And that's where we were. We waited 4 years. Eventually it came out. It only got better. And you know what happened the next year? Because season 2, it released. It was very short. People were not happy. So you know what happened next? They released season 3, and it was even better. Simple as that. And not only was season 3 better, season 3 had 2 sequences of animation that broke the internet. 2. Not 1. 2. There's literally nothing bad I could say about Attack on Titan. The only thing I say to people, Attack on Titan, by the way, is the perfect gateway into anime. There is another perfect gateway into anime, which I will mention later on. You might already know what it is. But it's a perfect gateway to anime in that it has very, very few anime tropes, you know? So for people who are like, oh no, I don't watch anime, even though I think it's a stupid thing to say, honestly. Like, it's literally like, I don't read books. You know, I mean, it's like, what kind of books? You don't read cookbooks, you don't read fiction, you don't read history, you don't read, like, what don't you read? Like, you don't just say something like, I don't read books. It's a silly thing to say, right? It's like an entire medium. You don't say that. And the same thing with anime. So whenever I'm recommending something easy to get into, I'm like, just watch Attack on Titan. Like, yeah, the first few episodes are sort of gimmicky, like we have the whole glowing eyes thing, and if you're like mega against that, maybe you might drop off, but man, the fact that, no spoilers, but the fact that the first episode's title, if you know, you know. I think I've already spent about 15 hours on the channel talking about Attack on Titan. And I'm only through season 1. I love Attack on Titan. I could talk about Attack on Titan for literal hours, which I have. And you know what? I just remembered what's in this one. So we're gonna do this one. I remember what this is. I just remembered what's here. Because I put them there for a reason. You'll see what the reason is. So let's uncover this one. You know what that is? Know what that is? Look at that. Everyone knows what this is, right? Everyone knows what that is. Everyone knows it. Look at this dude. Look at this dude. Everyone knows him. Of course, yeah, this is One Piece. I put them here for a reason because everybody expected them because I covered them on the channel. Okay? So I got into One Piece mega late. Like, literally everyone and their mom was already talking about One Piece when I decided to get into One Piece. One Piece is incredible. Is there anything else I need to say? I put it on my anime 3x3, but honestly, if I was being like mega critical, I don't know if I would put it on my anime 3x3. I'm gonna be honest. What is One Piece? Let me tell you what One Piece is. Let me summarize One Piece and the reason why I got into it. Fame, wealth, power. A man by the name of Gold Roger had that and everything else in the world. And so he gathered it all and left it in one place. Now you just have to find it. That is One Piece. The greatest rush for treasure ever made. Those words lured countless men to the seas. I don't remember the exact dialogue, but close enough. Close enough. It is a pirate story with stands. Like, take the JoJo magic system of everyone having mega wacky powers, put it into a pirate story where everybody's running after one piece of treasure. One Piece. Watch One Piece. Like, you'll look 1,000 episodes. Many people will say, it's too long. It's not. It's too short. Yes. Some people will tell you, if it's too long, read the manga. I will agree with that. I will agree with that. But watch One Piece. It is goddamn beautiful. It is an adventure of a lifetime. It is an absolute odyssey. Everyone should experience it. One Piece is not a story. It is an experience exactly because it is so long. You experience so many things, so many themes. You meet so many characters. One Piece is excellent. And in the way Oda foreshadows things, in the way Oda plants ideas there, only to blossom years later, is almost like Attack on Titan. It's daunting, but Sabaody is so worth it. Yes. One Piece is a series that is hard to recommend. I will be honest. I cannot imagine myself getting anyone into One Piece because it is so long. But there I yet again say, it is not too long, it is too short. It's really as simple as that. It is not a goofy, wacky pirate story. It is something so much more. It is something so much more. Okay, now that we've gotten the easy ones out of the way, let us uncover this box. What is this? What is this? Something red. Something more red. Now that looks like a hand. Like an arm. Oh my god. We know what it is. It is Spy Family. Let me tell you a story. When I started watching Spy Family, I made a vow. I made a vow that I would never break. I will never make a single video on Spy Family. Never. It is mine. I will watch it, and okay. We need another story time, right? So, Spy Family comes out on Saturdays, right? So Saturdays are usually like a chill day. When you finally relax after the week, everything is great. It's not like a Sunday. I hate Sundays, by the way. I really, really hate Sundays because it's basically like a day of the week when you're just anxious about the next day. I hate Sundays. Like, Friday evenings and Saturdays are literally the best time of the week. But anyway, that's beside the point. So with Spy Family, when I first watched it, I had a lot of stuff that wasn't going very well for your boy in my life. And then I watched Spy Family. And it was so damn wholesome. It was so damn wholesome. Nothing sad. Okay, actually, some sad stuff did happen. But I was like, this is gonna be mine. I will watch this. I will enjoy this. It will be my happy 22 minutes of the week. And I will never talk about it. I will never make a video about it. I will never put effort into it. I will simply watch it. And I will enjoy every second of it. That's what I'll do with Spy Family. There's a movie coming out. I'm gonna go watch the movie. Spy Family is the ray of sunshine everybody needs in their lives. And this is coming from someone whose favorite series are things like Attack on Titan. Spy Family is the greatest anime to come out in the past decade. I say that because a lot of this stuff came out a decade, before a decade, Like, Attack on Titan literally just came out 10-something years ago now. It had its 10th anniversary. It is a fantastic breath of fresh air, exactly. It is so antithetical to most of One Piece, most of anime. Everything from its visual style, because it's done by Wit. So Wit's animation. Perfection. Perfection. I love it. I love it. The fact that it's comedy, the fact that there's like this weird bit of rom-com humor mixed in, it's great. It is my thing that you will never see a video on the channel for. There is a long video I've been meaning to make about like how creating content on stuff I watch has changed my behavior. Because I can tell you right now, when I watch something, I have a notepad open and I'm writing notes to anything I watch, and that's why I swore to never make stuff on Spy Family. I just wanted to enjoy it. Let us open up the next box. What's here? I don't remember what this is. Oh, I know what this is. This is so vanilla. Most of my list is very vanilla, to be honest. But I mean, it is what it is. They're great for a reason. I mean, I feel like some of you might already know what this is just by this. Yes, exactly. Yes, it's Brotherhood. I will tell you this. When I first watched Full Metal Alchemist, I didn't really enjoy it. I was like, it's cool. It's badass. But like, I don't see why it's like #1 on everywhere. Like, it's a good story, but what's the big deal? And then I finished it, and my guy says the thing. He says my heart was made full metal. I was covered in chills from head to toe, and that's when Full Metal Alchemist just shot up my ranks. I watched it again, and oh my god, it's so good. It's again one of those series that is so antithetical to most of anime. It doesn't have a lot of tropes. It is just a straightforward story. Like, it does have a bunch of anime stuff in it, but it doesn't really have that many. It feels more Western, if that makes sense. And I say that in a very good way, by the way. In a very, very positive light. I love the magic system. The magic system is great. The characters are great. The brotherly bond between them we see is great. The wider lore, right? I don't want to get into spoilers, but what we find out at the end of the series, right? And what actually lies beyond everything that we knew. It's such a great enthralling mystery. It's another one of those fundamental mysteries that's brewing since day one. And when you find out the answer, it sticks the landing. It's so good. But Full Metal Alchemist, it's a vanilla pick. It's good. Let's open up the next box. We don't talk about the dog. We don't talk about the dog. Okay, let's open up, just a reminder. Just a reminder. Everyone still good? Okay, let's keep going. We're gonna open up this box. I don't remember what this is. Oh, I know what this is. Yes. It's Monster. The anime that is not an anime. Monster is the only show that I've watched, and I was left asking the simple question of, why is this animated? I've not once watched a series and found myself asking the question of, why is this animated? Monster is the most human story I have ever seen in anime. It is literally a detective show disguised as anime. And it is also one of the greatest animes of all time. It is slow, it builds, there is a fundamental mystery, there are things to uncover, it is dark, it is gritty, it's so good. Yes, there are some things that seem like a stretch in terms of realism. It also has one of the greatest villains in all of anime. It's so good. And the fact that it keeps you asking questions, like mega early on, if you knew the theories I had when I was watching Monster, I had some really, really bad theories. Some really bad theories. Should I say it? Because it's kind of a spoiler. I'm trying to largely stay spoiler-free, you know, because I want people to watch these shows. A lot of these are vanilla shows. I'm guessing a lot of people have watched them, but I feel like people don't talk about Monster enough, you know? People need to talk about Monster. We need a Monster remake, or we need a Monster live action, which, by the way, another thing. I say that it's disguised as anime. The fact that no one has attempted to adapt Monster into a live action format boggles my mind. It's literally a free, successful adaptation. There is nothing in Monster that you can mess up in live action. It doesn't have the uncanny valley. It doesn't have weird settings. It doesn't have like a huge budget that is required. Just do it. Just do it. Get more people talking about Monster, especially nowadays when everybody's obsessed with true crime. And this has one of the greatest true crime villains of all time. Just do it. Okay, let's uncover this. That's enough about Monster. I'm eventually going to make a dedicated video about Monster, I promise. What is this? Oh, I know what this is. Okay, so this is why I put them like this, okay? So, you remember how I said I put these anime here to be sort of indicative of my tastes, right? So it's not necessarily like the best shows, but a lot of these are for me my favorites, right? That I will rewatch over and over again. So I didn't put like mega obscure shows like you know, what's like an obscure show? Like K's No Stigma, like something weird like that, right? It's basically like your typical low fantasy, I guess, show, whatever like that. I didn't put shows like that on here because I know no one cares about them. Probably most people are not going to watch them. I can do something like that if someone wants me to, like pick obscure shows that I really enjoyed, right? This one is sort of talking about my taste, right? So let me go through my taste real quick. So we have JoJo, right? Big muscly men fighting each other. We have Monster, which is one of the darkest anime, like one of the darkest really human stories in anime. We have Spy Family, which is just about the most wholesome thing you can have. We have a wacky, goofy pirate story. We have a fantasy story about two brothers trying to find the truths of the universe. And then we have a story about the horrors of war. You know what we have then? We have Love is War. I watched the show. I loved it so much. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. It is so good. It's so good. Like, I went into it. I was like, what the hell is this? Like, what is this middle school nonsense? I'm a grown man. Am I seriously going to watch this? Am I seriously going to watch something that is called Kaguya-sama, Love is War? And get ready for this. In case you don't know, the principle of the show, right? The core idea is that a girl wants the dude to tell her that he loves her, while the dude wants the girl to tell him that she loves him. And what ensues is a battle of minds greater than that of Death Note. It is the ultimate JoJo stand battle within only two minds. You watch the most wacky stuff go down simply because they're trying to lure out those three words. It is the wackiest thing I've ever seen in my life. And I watched it by accident. It's so dumb, and I love every second of it. I haven't seen the movie yet, though. I need to watch the movie. I'm gonna watch the movie, then it's gonna be great. Because the movie apparently is like a huge climax. I mean, I know what happens in the movie, judging by where the season left off, but I'm excited. It's one of those things, like, again, that I just sort of watch, and I just giggle to myself because of how silly it is, and it's a good time. Next one is Mega Vanilla. And I say it's mega vanilla because I remember what it is, and it's the first thing that really got me into anime, like properly. You know what it is already. I've also made videos about it. It's going to be Code Mid-Ass. It's not going to be Code Mid-Ass. It's going to be the better version of Code Geass. It's going to be Death Note. The most vanilla pick. I picked Death Note because everything about it in terms of tone is something I adore. And you know what? We're not going to do it yet, but Death Note will be an ongoing trend for what we talk about. Okay? So, Death Note is a entry into anime for a reason. It has a very simple idea and a very, very good execution of the plot, mostly. And is another story that I am surprised that has not been adapted into a live-action series, because the plot of it is very grounded. It is not like anime. It has very, very few tropes that you find in anime that people don't generally like Western audiences, I mean. It is great. It is a battle of wits, and it's excellent. Yes, there are problems in the second half. Yes, there are holes you can poke in it, but from a psychological horror angle, Death Note is still peak. It's great. The movie was ... interesting. There is a Death Note anime in live action. There is the original live action by in Japan, right? It's actually decent, but I want like a new one because it's very old. And all right, you know what? Because two of these picks, you know what I did? Look at this. I did this because I make content on both One Piece. I mean, like, listen to this. I made like 30 something videos on One Piece. How am I not going to put it on my 3x3, right? Because this is something I keep saying. Whenever you hear someone talking about anything online, they are obsessed with it. Even if they're mad about it, they are obsessed with it. It means a lot to them, right? So whenever you hear people complaining about something, it is likely because they love it so much that they want to complain about it. That's something to keep in mind. But the point I'm getting across here is that I've talked so much about One Piece that obviously it's going to be on here, and it was a boring pick. So what I did, and ditto for Attack on Titan, so what I did... But wait, there's more. So there are two bonus picks here. I will leave the center uncovered, because we'll talk about it. Death Note live action TV series is in production. It is being made by the Stranger Things guys. I'm excited for it. I think they can get it right. Maybe it's copium, but I think I can get it right. It is being done by very, very good and talented people. So if anyone's gonna pull it off, it's them. Let's see what's behind here. I don't remember what these are. I know what they are, but I don't remember which one is where. Okay, so let's do this. Do you know what this is? This is Death Parade. It's a very, very short series, and I would recommend everyone to watch it. It is like the perfect follow-up. There's, by the way, fun fact, there is a Death Note Easter egg in it. People say that Death Parade is like sharing a universe with Death Note. I don't buy that. I think it's a silly thing to say. But everybody should watch Death Parade. Death Parade is a very short show. It deals with acceptance. It deals with grief. It deals with themes like that. It's sort of happy-go-lucky, but it's also like very dark at the same time. It's a very short series. You can easily watch it in a single day. And it's great. It covers a lot of mature themes, so like mega trigger warning for that. I guess. I don't know. I love Death Parade. If you're gonna watch Death Note and then watch like Death Parade right after that, I think it's like a really, really good thematic transition into it. I wish we got to see more of it. I've heard rumors that it might get like a spin-off or something like that, but I don't think anything's been confirmed. It's a great little series. Not much else to say about it. There's not really much to spoil. It's just a show you watch and sort of experience. That's maybe why it's not like mega popular, but I don't know. I really, really enjoyed Death Parade. So I put it on there because of the thematic notes, which again is why I think this 3x3 is kind of goofy, right? You have wholesome family fun, you have a stupid rom-com, you have a murder mystery, you have a war, and then you have like the freaking stages of acceptance. Okay, and behind this lies what is, in my opinion, one of the most slept-on anime of all time. is the absolute goat, Mushishi. It is a series that people supposedly like, but there is barely anyone talking about it. Why is no one talking about Mushishi? We need to talk about it. It's so good. It's so good. It is like, again, it is, in terms of vibe, is like, it's not dark. It's not really horror. It's this, like, a lot of the stories are somewhat horror-like. Like, they deal with uncertainty and a lot of horrors that sort of lurk with, in all of our minds, right? At the core of it, it is kind of a story about humanity again, you know? If that's a way of putting it. I'd have to really think about it because all the episodes are so different. Mushishi has a lot of really, really fun times. In many ways, if you've seen the swamp episode of Avatar and how it deals like with mind-bending shenanigans, right? With like what is real, what is a dream, what isn't a dream, what is connected, what isn't connected, like what is a vision, and all these like sort of spirit shenanigans. That's Mushishi, but there's a whole series about it. I love it. I love it. And for this one, honestly, you just go in, you start watching it. Some episodes will be hit and miss for you, sure. But I would say just keep trucking on, and it is an experience. It makes you think. It is not like this blockbuster thing. It is just a thing you sit, you watch, and you think about. It's sort of introspective also, in many ways. And you just enjoy the ride. You know? Really simple as that. I'm already laughing because I know what's coming up next. Oh god. Okay. So let me zoom out. Look at my... I know this is very vanilla, but this is the stuff I like. We're gonna do an obscure one later on. I need to dig out my old... I had a very old... I'm not even going to say anything about it. I had a very, very old My Anime List account that I lost because it had a weird password and a very weird username. I need to find that. And then I'll find all of the gold mines I watched when I was getting... Because when I was getting into anime, right? So that's the thing. I watched some well-known stuff, and then I was like, what do I do now? Like, how does one discover anime? How does one follow anime? Because there's an important thing to note here as well. When I was growing up, like a lot of people say, I watched One Piece on XTV channel, right? That's where I watched my first anime. That was never the case for me, because where I lived, we only got like a few cartoons, Western cartoons, I mean. So we got like Avatar was a thing that was obviously on Nickelodeon, right? And then there were like a bunch of others, obviously, but anime wasn't really ever localized where I lived at all. So I got into anime like consciously, if that makes sense. And so I went on many weird rabbit holes, which I will eventually talk about at some point. I just need to dig out all the weird stuff I watched. A lot of it was like, if you've seen like all of the mega old anime, you know that like age ratings for them, let's say they weren't accurate, and in many cases they had some very messed up stuff in them. If you know, you know. So I could dig up some of those, and you know, I want to rewatch all of them as well. But okay. I don't think people are ready for what's coming next. This reveal will destroy my career. So, hold on. I will give you 30 seconds to throw out random guesses about what it could be and why I'm like, I don't want to show it. No. The final anime on the Koroto anime list. Let's do one last roundup. We're gonna do one last roundup. One last round. It's not One Punch Man. It's not. It's not. It's something older than... I think it's One Punch Man. I think it's older than One Punch Man. Fist of the North Star. No, but I thought about putting it on here. I thought about it. I also thought about putting Mob Psycho on here, but I didn't. It's not. That's it. That's enough. It's enough. I will uncover the square. Not Berserk, because I'm reading Berserk. I've seen the anime once, and I saw it when I was getting in... It was one of the things I watched, like, years ago when I was getting into anime for the first time. And I've basically forgotten everything about it, so now that I'm reading it, I get these glimpses of memories that it's like, oh, I've seen this somewhere, right? But no, it's not Berserk. Berserk is going to be on the manga list whenever I make that. Do you know what this is? You know what this is? Did you see that? It's the Ruby Castle. It's the Ruby Castle. I'm gonna uncover it a bit more. Yes, it is goddamn Sword Art Online. Hold on. I can explain. I will explain. Give me time, and everything will become clear. Crystal clear. Okay. Listen very carefully. Imagine me, a man who has played 5,000 hours. No, actually, that's a lie. I've played a lot more than 5,000 hours. Closer to like 15,000. No, actually, probably even more than that. Basically, I've played World of Warcraft for most of my life. I've played an ungodly amount of World of Warcraft. I see MMORPG, my eyes light up. So imagine me, a wee young lad, getting into anime and seeing that there is an anime that takes place in a VR MMORPG. My eyes are rolling upside down. I'm like, you know what? Let's do this. I jump in and I'm like, okay, let's see what this is about. And then they say, if you die in the game, you die in real life. I'm like, okay, sign me up. And then we actually get into the concept. And don't get me wrong, there is a lot wrong with it. There are many problems with Sword Art Online. But for some reason, and I'm gonna make a video about this eventually, something about the story broke little Koroto. I distinctly remember that after I watched it, I was sitting there for a long time, and something about the... How do I put this? I think for a very wee young lad, me, who was like... I'm obviously like mega introverted, right? So I watched it, and I was like, oh my god, is this weird story of humanity blossoming in a weird virtual space? It was weird to me, and I liked it. And then I read the books, and the books were even better. And then it kept going, and I liked it. It was just a wholesome story about like friendships and love and family blossoming in a weird, messed up online world. And I loved it. And I still do. I will defend it till the end of days. It was very important for me growing up. And also, I made a very, very funny thing. I distinctly remember, like when, because I'm a mega VR nerd, right? I have VR headsets. I got the freaking original Oculus Rift, right? To just tell you how long I've been into this stuff. I saw the goddamn Nerve gear. I made a vow. Day one, when that tech becomes available, I'm gonna stick it on my head. And if I get microwaved, so be it. It's gonna be great. I've been working toward that ever since. Okay, mate, see you later. Don't worry, it's gonna be fine. They're gonna test it. They're gonna test it. I'm not gonna be microwaved. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. I'm gonna make a video about this, but yes, there are many, many problems with it. Like, Sword Art Online is probably one of the most flawed stories that I actively enjoy. Because I would genuinely say that I really enjoy Sword Art Online. Right? Like, Alicization, in terms of, like, critically speaking, Alicization in the War of the Underworld is probably, like, the best of Sword Art Online. But my favorite arc is still the Aincrad arc. Like, the very, very beginning. Everything there is so good. I would love to see, like, a full-fledged series where it details everything that happened there. Because there are so many little accuracies in terms of MMORPGs. Like, a lot of it is super bogus, right? The fact that goddamn protagonist Kirito becomes a god and one-shots a boss solo, that's just stupid. Like, if you ever played an MMORPG, you know that doesn't happen. Of course it doesn't happen. You're gonna get stomped. That's why we farm stuff. You farm gear 24/7, and then maybe with a raid team you'll kill it. Of course it doesn't make sense. Of course it doesn't make sense. But it's an anime. Who cares? Also, in terms of visuals, Sword Art Online is goddamn beautiful. Like, the animation of it is top-notch. It's good. And also, one of the weirdest, like obviously, I was starting to watch it. And they say, if you die in the game, you die in real life. Okay, I expect messed up stuff. Right? And then we get to the goddamn Christmas episode. Why would you do that? Why would... That episode legit hit me in the feels. I love Christmas. Why would you ruin Christmas? Why would you ruin Christmas? Watch Sword Art Online if you haven't. Don't listen to the online hate, because honestly, this is something, it's funny to me, because a lot of people have admitted it. A lot of people dunked on SAO when it was popular to do so, but a lot of people say that like it's not really how they felt. It was AniTube in its prime. I will defend this opinion forever. Sword Art Online will forever lie on my 3x3. Because it changed me. It changed me to my core. But let's be honest, all these series are better than it. Like, Mushishi is better. Attack on Titan's better than it. Fullmetal Alchemist, yeah, it's better than it. Spy Family, better than it. JoJo, better than it. Monster, yeah, probably, yeah, as well, also. Love is War, probably, yeah. Death Note, also, probably, yeah. You gotta watch it. You gotta watch it. It is a very personal pick. I will give it that. I will give it that. Because it's not a great story, and it's not told in a great fashion. But I will always love it. I will always love it. I could have put on something, like I could have been all artsy and put on like Ava, right? And then I would say, oh, Ava changed me to my very core, and I've thought about Ava for so long, and Ava is so great, and all of that is true. But I'd be lying if I said I really cared about it, you know? I'd be lying. I'd be lying. This is the 3x3. Eventually we'll do another one that is sort of Koroto's recommendations, if you will, like shows that I know people haven't watched. Because like, out of everyone here, I mean, I'm guessing like 90% of you will have watched One Piece. Everyone and their mom has watched Attack on Titan. Everyone and their mom has also watched Death Note. JoJo's probably a bit split. Monster is probably a bit split. But yeah, it is what it is. Anybody who disagrees with this tier list, not tier list, this list, wrong. Simple as that. And again, just a reminder, we are not counting Avatar in here because the internet will be very mad. I would classify Avatar as basically 99% anime, and I would put it on the list, but the internet will be mad. Is Legend of Korra worth watching? Yes, easy yes. Legend of Korra, there is one arc that I think is very bad and is easily the worst of Avatar, but after that arc comes what is either better than all of Avatar or on par with base Avatar. Legend of Korra is an easy recommendation if you liked Avatar. People dunk on it just like they dunk on with SAO because there's like one thing you can pick on. Well, no, with Legend of Korra there's a lot of stuff you can pick on, but the big picture I really like. A lot of people seem to completely miss the point of Korra in many ways. But you know, it is what it is.